But on the floor right now, they're going at it.
Well, I'm not big on the plus-minuses, but Xavier Cooks with this team is plus 105 on the season, which is significant.
Michael Frazier off the tip.
He's being aggressive straight away. Straight away he's being aggressive. And I love that about him.
26 points last week. Sensational start for the Hawks. They're going to need all of that energy. We highlighted the meeting between the two teams in round 7. Simon inside. He's knocked out of bounds. What can Illawarra, Drew, think back to that game? We were both in commentary for that one. Here's the opening bucket. What can Illawarra take away from that last game that they did well against Sydney?
Well, it's not just the last game, it's the first game of the season. If you remember that one, that was one they should have won. But I think that they'd get a lot of confidence in the way in which their matchups. Now, let's not forget, Xavier Cooks was not involved in that last one. I believe he was out injured. So it's there's always a big asterisk when you're playing the Sydney Kings and Xavier Cooks is not there.
Just like that, there's the tip in.
Well, when we spoke to Jacob Giacomus before the game, that was the key. He was talking about how to contain Cooks as Frazier knocks down the three. In order to contain Cooks, you've got to keep him off the glass. And they didn't do a good job with that last possession.
Vasiljevic turns the corner. He's a player. But we know his shooting capabilities and his all-round capabilities in this league. He's just having a hard time with things at the moment. Found his way to 17 points last Sunday, but 4 of 32 from outside in his last 5 games. That's very much unlike him.
Guess what? That's not going to stop him from shooting, though. He loves to shoot the ball. He's capable of knocking that 3 down, and all he has to do is see 1 or 2 go down, and he's taking the next shot every time.
That's true, but 4 of 32.
We've all been there, bro.
We have, but don't think that he doesn't know that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Cooks at ding-ding. Has both field goals so far for Sydney. That's going to be a huge challenge for them tonight. Try and find a way to stop him.
The problem with trying to stop him is you don't run any plays for him. He'll get the ball up the glass and take it coast to coast.
Derek Walton Jr., Joe and Brad highlighted his form in recent times pre-game. That dime inside for Cooks.
Well, that's what they're elite at, and Cooks in particular. Anytime there's an on-ball screen, they really do a good job of identifying Cooks where they can throw it up above the rim and find the spots. And Cooks does a really good job of locating himself to be in a good receiving position. But boy, they do an even better job of finding him with some of those passes like we saw just then.
Seaver shot the ball well last week. Starts well again tonight.
Last 3 games, he's been above 40% from the three-point line.
Illawarra create the turnover. Seaver to Frazier. It's got a good ring to it if you're a Hawks supporter.
This game's got a good look about it. This doesn't look like a 2-12 team at both ends of the floor. They're playing with some aggression. Yeah, there's been some breakdowns like we just saw there. Got to keep DJ in front of you. But there's an energy. They're in the lanes. You know, they got beat on the on-ball with a pick and roll, but there's a good ball pressure and going under Seaver. Now, I don't know whether that would have been in the scouting report based on the last 4 games and just a little slap from behind. How good's Frazier been? When they signed him, I thought, oh, this is a nice pickup, but this is turning out to be on the evidence we've seen. An outstanding pickup. His shooting percentages in limited games, of course, have been off the charts this season. Above 50 from the field and really efficient across the board. In fact, above 50 from the three-point line in these 4 games. 57% from threes, coach.
He's shooting well. He's one of those guys where if Illawarra doesn't pick him up next year, another team will. Because he's playing great basketball.
Inside for Froling. Score over the top of Suarez. We saw all of that on the Amy replay. Hawks away to a fast start, which we haven't said often this season. Simon all alone in the corner ties it up.
Simon's another one that's having a really good season. The numbers don't pop off the page, but it just takes what's given.
Froling takes it at Tim Suarez and scores his first points.
Well, they chased Buford before the start of the game talking about their defense, and I don't think he's got the desired response so far in this one.
Foul on Frazier. What did you think, Coach, of Chase Buford post-game last week? He was pretty candid.
He's a smart coach. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to poke the bear. He's trying to fire that team up because he may think that, but I think he knows his team's a lot better than when they played. They're in first place. So he's just trying to get the guys fired up.
Michael Frazier sits down. There's a couple of fouls to his name, so won't see much of him for the remainder of this first quarter, you'd imagine. Walton Jr. got Seaver up in the air and scores.
This is the game where Walton Jr. burst onto the scene. First game of the season, put up some huge numbers.
It's knocked down from Deng in the mid-range. They're trading buckets right now.
Extraordinary, both teams.
Certainly right. They don't look like a 2-10 team at all.
Surdovich couldn't finish off. Froling, a little piece of that on the way through. Deng travels. A few boos for Xavier Cooks and Angus Glover as he checks into the game. A couple of local boys playing for the opposition, and Angus Glover today said, "Boo me if you want. I don't care."
And some players love that. Some players get up for boos.
Oh yeah, the commentating team is Shane Hill. He was one that when you're playing, you just hope like anything your home fans didn't boo him because that was just inside him to come out and do some special things. And this one here, although Illawarra Hawks, great start, 14-13, up tempo. We've seen the Sydney Kings against team when they slow the pace down. They don't look as explosive. In fact, they've looked a little vulnerable, certainly in that last quarter against the Jack Jumpers. And there's another three ball. 3 of 5 now for the Hawks from the three-point line.
This is off the back of shooting 17 of 35 last week against Cairns. And feeling good from outside. Glover off target. Here's Dan Garita. Rips that rebound down. That is fantastic to see. Harvey with a step back. Doesn't go. Suarez left alone in that corner. Doesn't get that to stick either. Long pass. Froling made it work.
Great pass.
And it is working. It is going really nicely now. They're shooting the lights out, 7 of 12 from the field. But this tempo over the course of 40 minutes, so far this season, that's been more towards the favour of the Sydney Kings.
Uniform on and get back on the floor with them. We'll fire them up. And as you see, the way they're shooting the ball right now and the crowd's involved, it is working for them.
Let's get courtside to Brad Rosen. Yeah, I was just listening to Coach saying fired up. I have not seen Chase Buford fired like that for a long time. He was absolutely filthy with his team. He said, we can score whenever we want, but we can't stop anyone. Get back on defense or come sit next to me. Extremely frustrated, Coach.
Well, the D-Trans, you saw them about to advance with the pass or the dribble, and they just need a little bit more action on the ball, stop and try and slow it down, and that always helps the coach a little bit. Yes, you want some defense, but you love to see the three ball go in.
Every time.
Angus Glover on the board. First on the ladder, the Sydney Kings against the bottom placed Illawarra Hawks. Ladder positions mean very little when these two teams get together. Walton Jr. Simon gave up his look. Walton Jr. relocates and he's short. Kept alive by Kawat Noy. Kings get another look at things. Noy. Tough one for Suarez to reel in, but was good enough to go and get it, find it, play through the contact and score.
And that's where size matters. Just the size of the guy, and there's a poor pass by Suva trying to get it down low to Froling. But the size of Suarez down the other end to reel it in to start with. Have a look at the catch. They do a really good job of the pick and roll. They see the mismatch, throw it in there. Didn't panic. Little head fake, gets Greta off his feet. It's just size prevailing.
So you weren't Greta been in that weight room, though, hasn't he? Picked up a little bit.
This hustle there from Harvey.
Is Galloway just coming into the game. You've got to have a degree of urgency. He just thought, oh, well, I've got it here, inbound it like it was Division 2 on a Monday night.
That was a little bit better from Galloway, and then Cooks over the top. Gives Sydney the lead. Oh, threw it to the ump.
He threw it to the referee. He's got a bright green shirt on. And somehow or other he got confused.
The officials, Nico Fernandez, Damian Lyons, Nathan Durant. Green actually looks nothing like one.
I was expecting for the referee to catch it and shoot it.
Cooks. Guarded by Mathiang, kicks it out for Kawhi.
This is an interesting one with the matchup with Cooks, with Mathiang on him. Big guy, 6'10", and Cooks, you saw him there just trying to exploit him off the dribble, and Mathiang did a good job just keeping you in front.
Davo Hickey is really growing in confidence this season. Bright young prospect, played really well when the teams met in round 7. Galloway. Cooks. There's the mismatch of Tyler Harvey. As it stands, they look for Noy. Opposite corner. Similar result. Wow. Mathiang inside. Over the top of Xavier Cooks.
Right there is what Chase Pippen was talking about. Advancing Cooks is sort of there. You got big Mathiang coming down on the block. No one in the lane. Very little ball pressure. And a great find, but when you're talking about D-trans, that's where you got to try and just don't run down with your man. You're trying to stay in the lanes, stop that initial pass being made, and like everything, prevention's better than cure. Big Mathiang gets it that close to the basket. In transition, not a lot of help. The advantage his way.
I think Sydney just rely more on making shots, because when they miss, teams can't run out on them. And you're right, the defensive trans is not great.
I guess the thing, though, Coach, is that sustainable come finals time?
Probably not. We've seen teams exploit just that.
Oh. Hickey wasn't there in time. He's called for the block.
Right now, this is a concern. Rolling of the ankle, looking like, let's say, oh, there it is, the right ankle. No good. Hopefully it's just one of those little stingers. Look, can sometimes look, oh yeah, just that twisting of the ankle.
It's true, it explains every little bit of it.
Well,
makes me turn my head away.
Here's the thing though, when you've done them, like most players this league, 7 or 8 times, they can look pretty bad,
I know.
but you can bounce back.
You stretch that ligament so much that it really does, it looks worse than it is, yeah.
Jacob Dakotas, Illawara coach. Cooks on the free throw line, and this has been a significant problem for him and for the team this season. What won't be a problem is if you win this competition. The trip of a lifetime to meet Shaquille O'Neal, flights, accommodation, and spending money included. And thanks to Reebok, you can enter now.
How much spending money, Jack? I'm not going to fill this thing out, and you're not telling me how much money I'm going to get.
It doesn't say on the sheet.
Hey,
otherwise I would answer.
Enough to enjoy yourself.
All right, dude. Well, see
actually, here we go. Some of your activities.
Depends if Coach is stopping past Vegas, I suppose. Then we need to really load up.
these guys.
Harvey on the floater. Nice. Rolls that one home. His first bucket of the night.
And that's a mid-range floater. That is not an easy shot to execute. And he just has the ability to put it up there so softly.
Less than 2 minutes remaining. Quarter number 1 at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Sean Bruce broke their hearts when they met in round 7. Couldn't get it away that time. Noy does. He's missing. Brad Rosen, you're right near Xavier Cooks.
Yeah, I just had him go past. He's gone straight into the locker room, but he did look at the coach and the physio and said, I'm fine, but straight into the locker room, I'll get an update.
Swaka LaPointe knocks down his second treble of the first quarter.
And he shot that with great confidence. It's another part of his game that's really starting to evolve. When he first came into the league, you know, he was that defensive guy, high-energy guy, but he's really developed that three ball.
Sydney 3 of 10 from outside in this first quarter. Harvey. Got past Galloway for Mathiang in the corner.
He doesn't take many of them.
And he shouldn't. And hasn't laid one this season.
No. But he's that wide open. The stroke didn't look too bad.
No, it didn't. It didn't look bad at all. But there's enough people on the team shooting threes. You know, probably don't need your 5 man to go shoot threes. Unless he's very good at it.
And that will be a charge. Hickey wasn't there last time. He was this time.
No, it's probably premeditated with some of this. Here we have a look at the charge there. Hickey just got there. Might have been one of those ones that, not sure.
You're not sure about that? I'm 100% sure about that one.
There was a charge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looked like from the angle from behind, it might have still been sliding across, but the shot was predetermined, but it looked like the Sydney Kings, they're going under most screens. It's time they go over the top, and they've been penalised 4 of 8. And this time, when they go over the top, the big fella's not there to catch Seabuck, so they're beating them both ways.
Shot clock switched off. Illawarra have 28 on the board in this opening quarter. They only average 20 in opening quarters this season. And now, Sydney give away an offensive foul, and they're going to give the Hawks a bonus possession to finish the quarter.
This is the lowest scoring team in the competition. Here we have a look at this foul. Geordie Hunter. Well, what did he handed it off. He stood there. I'm not sure he could do much more. There was more the reaction.
Block. So Hunter gives away an offensive foul at one end. Now concedes a foul at the other. He's picked up 2 fouls in first part of 8 seconds.
He was. He was a little unlucky with that little dribble handoff, little pitch out. To me, he stood still and then.
I don't understand. That's ridiculous. Not sure Chase is happy.
And then he probably thought in his view that maybe Geordie. Did he just say the ball don't like
it? Deng makes the second. Seaver with the fair catch and a travel. There's still time on the clock.
I think he's got right. It looked like his right foot, his boot foot. It did move. Have a look. Here, quick look. Catch. No, that's a travel. No, you did move.
Lots of trouble all day.
There's the trouble
every day.
In every league in the world. Hey. We're making the rules now. Here you go. High emotion in the opening quarter. Vasiljevic with a prayer. The Hawks lead at quarter time and have 29 on the board. A great start on their home floor against their arch rivals. You're watching Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
And Chase Buford was true to his word in regards to having a look at a bunch of options, getting a lot of guys in the rotation, and that was predicated on trying to find someone that can play some defense. 29 points in the first quarter to the lowest scoring team in the competition. Oh, they only averaged 79, or rounded up to 80.
There's an interesting stat. They've scored 25 or more in each of their last 4 first quarters. Well, there is more aggression about the Hawks.
Yeah.
Probably since the arrival of Michael Frazier.
Of course, I was going to say, since they brought Frazier in, because he's so aggressive offensively, then they're going to score some more points.
The Cook's back into the game. An issue with his ankle late in that first quarter. Out there to start the second. Mathiang shovels it up with the left hand and happy to let everyone know about it as well.
But how easy is that? Starts it, catches it almost on the 3-point line, a couple of dribbles. steps around his hunter. I think it was, like he was nailed to the floor.
It's almost as if they're afraid to foul someone. I don't like going back to our day, but if a guy made a couple of layups in our league, somebody's going to end up on the ground.
Well, the problem with that is Hunt's already got 2 fouls, so he had to be really cautious.
And that's what I mean. He was afraid to foul.
Yeah.
And his pocket picked by Galloway. Good hustle. Kings are looking for a spark. Something to get them going. Vasiljevic. There's a good start.
We had a foot on the line, so it was only a 2-ball.
He's just happy to see that ball go in.
See something going in.
5-13 last Sunday against the Jack Jumpers. Frazier long.
But again, if you watch him, he goes underneath on Frazier. There's a guy shooting at 57% from the 3-point line and still going underneath a lot of those on-balls.
So you saying that's a plan coming in?
Well, it must be, because you look at the numbers when someone's shooting, albeit across only 4 games, 57% from threes. You've got to try and put more pressure on, and Xavier Cook's down low on the box.
Well, Drew, you're saying if that's their plan, then perhaps he can't get as mad or angry at the team.
Well, that's right. They're conceding that. Well, they're not conceding, but they're strategically saying, well, we'll just go underneath. Well, that's what we've seen. Now, whether or not that's the plan or the players perhaps not executing the plan, but certainly they're going under a lot more than what you would normally expect with some of these players.
Big replay. Foul quick off the inbound. Draws a foul. 31-25. There's that last play. Xavier Cook's not on the court right now. Is off already. Brad will keep a pretty close eye on him and does look a little bit ginger. Indigenous round has started here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We've seen some of the amazing jerseys. It's going to be a great couple of weeks of action as well. NBL Store is where you can go to purchase your favourite. Galloway to the roll.
Okay, wake up.
He has got some great athleticism, which was on display on that finish.
Good business decision by the Hawks too to get out of the way there. No poster jobs. Frazier for the treble. 2 of 5 to start his night. Hawks led by 10. Early stages of this second quarter. Sydney starting to get a little bit of flow. That's long from Galloway. Falling for 3.
I just think they're
Not something we see often.
They let themselves down. Hunter has 2 fouls. The last 2 or 3 times down the court, they're shooting threes.
That's too easy. We talk about Sydney's defensive transition. That was pretty poor that time by the Illawarra Hawks.
Vasiljevic all up and in on Frazier. Froling got to that right hand. Nice touch.
Yeah, see the change in Vasiljevic that time, trying to fight over the top on Frazier. He was requiring a little bit more help in the dish-off pass, and down the other end, DJ, easy as you like. Coming off and getting to the cup, and he's dangerous. When he starts to see that ball going through, he becomes a real dangerous proposition.
He's got 5 points. Cook's their leading scorer with 11. Frazier puts the ball on the floor. They go back through Froling. Not that time though. Six minutes before halftime. Vasiljevic got it.
There we go.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it now. 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 28 points.
Harvey got away from Simon, which he's had a bit of trouble doing so far. Here's Frazier, top of the key. Flow of the game just starting to head in Sydney's direction. Although that said, Frazier's got other ideas. He misses, second time, puts it in.
It is, and scoring is starting to become a bit of a problem before that one for the Illawarra Hawks. And the way they're playing, they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. They're playing against the number one scoring team in the competition.
I know we say this every week, but I reckon the team that commits to a little defense might get this win.
Greeter. Not that time. The Kings. Bruce, who walked into that three, loose ball, and nice hustle from Greeter. Numbers with them up ahead. Harvey. End-to-end stuff. Vasiljevic. Good look for Bruce. Tied away at 37.
And they're just up the tempo. They're getting their game flowing. They see how potent they can be. Galloway with the Devils close to the line, but he likes to have a bit of fun.
Christmas Day, I'd imagine this game will be on in the Gaze household.
Oh,
sure.
my word. Straight on to the worldwide leader in ESPN, tuning in 6:30, and it's going to be an absolute beauty. Have tucked into some nice lunch, and we'll be ready to go. Extended full court pressure there. Looked a little vulnerable, weren't ready for it. Got bailed out, the Illawarra Hawks, with a hands foul. But again, this is the Sydney Kings trying to find a way to up the tempo. Don't let the Illawarra Hawks bog you down in the half court. Extend the defense, run some traps, force them into some quick shots, just to try and keep that tempo a little higher, where they've thrived for most of this season.
Kings have outscored Illawarra 16-8 in quarter number 2. And very quickly bridged the 8-point deficit. Frazier lets it fly. Not dropping for him the way he would like. So far. Deng Deng. Doesn't go for him either.
Well, they're settling for threes a lot here now. They were 4 of 8. They've missed their last 7 in a row. They're now 4 of 15.
They're still letting it go.
Walton Jr. surveying options. Down to Cooks in the low block. He lost the handle, had the seal on Swakala Bullock. Couldn't hang on to the ball. Harvey never shot.
What the Hawks have done is really mixed up the looks for Xavier Cooks. They've gone big on him, they've gone small on him. They go matching up with similar with Deng Deng.
Frazier in the open court. Smire's got a piece of that, but got a piece of Frazier as well.
Oh, they're not going to look at it. Perhaps a hint of a goaltend. Let's have a look. Nah, clean block. And actually, very unlucky to be called for the foul.
I think we might be seeing a coach's challenge here.
Well, they might have seen the same replay that we just saw, Jackie Boy.
So each coach has one coach's challenge at their discretion to use during the game. If you are successful, you keep the coach's challenge. If you're unsuccessful, you lose the coach's challenge.
You do, and you also lose the timeout. You keep the timeout if it was there. Did you just say that, Jake?
What were you doing?
Just clarifying what you said, because it's a good point just to explain to the viewers at home exactly what's going on right here. So they go to the hub, they check out all the angles, and they see if that in fact was a foul.
Let's take a look here. And the call on the floor stands. Senior official Nico Fernandez letting us know that there are 2 shots.
very little contact. I guess they call it a push. And one of those ones that...
A push on Suarez?
Suarez, yeah. A little bit of contact there. Very hard to overrule when you see a little bit of contact, but it's one of those ones I don't think the Illawarra Hawks would have been jumping up and down if it hadn't have been called, if that makes any sense.
Fraser on the line. As we do that, Tim Conrad has been kind enough to join us in the broadcast tonight. Timmy, thanks for your time. You'll be pretty pleased with how things have started.
Yeah, the boys are giving a lot of energy, considering the night. It's been good so far. Hopefully we can keep it up throughout the rest of the game.
And that Greeterback, that's just a great moral boost given the journey he's been on the last couple of seasons.
Mate, I couldn't be happier for him right now, seeing him back out there, man. 2 years without playing. He couldn't have been a better guy, man. He's great to be out on the floor. He's an energy guy. Hopefully he just gets back into it and he gets more comfortable as he gets more time.
And Tim, with the amount of threes that they're putting up, I know you hate not being out there, huh?
Mate, I've never seen a shot I don't like, mate. You know that. But no, I'm just trying to do what I can, help the boys out, see what I see. Hopefully, we're going to have a good game tonight. This is always great playing against the Kings. So we're just after a good game, and hopefully the intensity stays to where it is.
Tim, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas.
Tim Conrad not playing tonight.
They certainly miss it because if he's out there shooting the way they're shooting threes, he put it up.
It's Harvey. Quick release three. Here in the background, Jacob Jacobus asking for more ball movement. Glover at the other end. Picks up the foul.
Yeah, there's when you think of people that have had a challenge with their basketball journey. This guy here, not that guy there at the free throw line, this Glover, he's one that with the knee problems that he's had throughout the course of his career, another one of those incredible stories.
3 knee recoveries? Is it 3?
It's been a long road for him, no question about that.
And for a guy that relies so much on his athleticism, he's an elite athlete, got some real bouncy legs and being able to recover from really well, come back, have a big impact.
Local boy, grew up, as we say, just around the corner, played with the Hawks from 2016 to 2020. Now firmly entrenched with the Sydney Kings. Shot clock down to 9. Harvey, right in front of the Illawarra bench.
He's having a tough time. It's 2 of 9 and 0 of 5 from the three-point line. So Tyler Harvey.
There's another one that's been thrown at the referees.
Well, that's just been an issue. We saw it against the Jack Jumpers. 10 turnovers now for the Sydney Kings. That's too many. Way too many.
For a half, yeah.
Rolling. Hunter happy to sit off in the paint. Sparkle the Bullock lets it fly. Matthew wanted a foul. Official let things go, and Walton Jr. from one end to the other like that. Puts the Kings back in front with a minute to play. They've had the better of the Hawks in quarter number 2, no question about that. Froling happy to let that one go. And Sydney will be happy to see that one go.
4 of 20. 4 of 20. They've missed their last 12 straight three-pointers. And they've only got 12 points in the quarter. They had a 29-point first quarter. And only got the 12 in this quarter. And you give the Kings a bit of credit. You know, they've certainly picked it up on the defensive end, but just a lot of missed shots. And, of course, in particular from the three-point line. Some of them are wide open, just not knocking them down.
Hickey trying to stop Vasiljevic was not an easy thing to do when he's in this frame of mind. The Kings now open it up to a 4-point lead. Bowling, no good. Second opportunity. Fell into his arms and he did the rest.
He needs to punish him because they're just in a one-man zone. Hunter was just zoning right off and just ignoring Crowley.
Kings with the last say of the first half. And they lead it by 2. They come from 8 down at quarter time to take a slender 2-point lead into half-time. These rivals going head-to-head.
What's wrong with the NBA All-Star Game?
Where it's just nothing. And they're completely uncompetitive. It's just, it's
a show, Joey. They're doing it for the fans. They're not out there to
rubbish.
Come on, pal.
Let's play a real game. Competitive game.
Come on, bro.
So it's a resounding yes from both of you?
Yes, 100%.
I think it's a resounding yes from the fans. Hashtag NBL23. Jump on social media. So many of you already have. And gee, I think if we were doing the pie chart, it's about 85% yes. Imagine that man would be in the starting 5 of the Australian team in an All-Star game.
Yes, no doubt about that. And imagine him and Mitch McCarron, the two front runners, I think, for the MVP so far. Mitch McCarron doing some wonderful things.
He might be the point guard.
We had late 36s and just to feed them because he doesn't like to shoot the ball. So
clean it up a little bit. Try to clean it up anyway.
Mitch Green, of course. But what a nice set coming out of the halftime break. Little action in order to there's a cross screen to post up Cooks, get him going early and try and he's been superb, 5 of 6 from the field, now to 13 points.
Now, Joey, what would Buford have said to these guys about their defense at halftime?
Well, he would have been a lot happier in what they dished up in that second quarter, where they really
only gave up 14 points.
Yeah, and gave up 29 to 14. He would be really positive, I think. Gave him a spray. You can't just keep doing that. And particularly when you get a response that you're looking for. Receiver misses the 3, so he could be content with what they were doing.
Nice hands from Seaver. Walton Jr. got it back, and now Seaver's got a problem. He's guarding Xavier Cooks. There's an open man on the floor. It's Justin Simon. Here's Cooks on the offensive glass. Puts it back in. He's the game's leading scorer with 15.
I'm going to call him Magnet from now on. The ball just finds him.
6 boards in this one this evening.
Let's fly. 5 of 22 from outside the Hawks. They needed that one to stick. See the Kings shooting clip 6 of 20, so not that much better, I guess. Seaver, flip back of 13 points, 8 assists last week against Cairns, and only 1 turnover as well. He's a quality decision maker.
Honestly, I just think I was born too soon, man. The amount of threes that these two teams shoot. Imagine me playing during that.
Particularly, like if they're only shooting at 21%, 5 of 23, but they're shooting it as if they're going in. They're not going in. And the fact that you're not exploring those other options, and then if you're taking that shot in the last 6 to 8 seconds, 6 seconds, well, okay, we've looked at our options because it's, and there's a kick out and we go for it, but I just feel like they're settling a little bit for the early 3 ball.
Do you keep shooting?
Well, they do. That's clearly what they're doing, and just hoping that ultimately it'll catch up with them. And there's,
well, should they? I guess is the question.
Well, like I say, it comes on when you're shooting. How you're going to explore other options. Post-ups, penetration, finish at the rim, run a little cutting action.
Pick and rolls.
All those things you look at before. But then, of course, if you get down to the in the later stages of the shot clock, then you let it fly.
That's nice from Walton Jr. He's got 7 to go with 3 assists and 3 rebounds. Harvey with a hand in the face. That's tough at the other end.
It's an important one for him. Mid-range 2 coming off. He was 2 of 10 before that one. Oh, dear.
Tim Suarez with authority.
That's what we want to see.
Every time that Illawarra can find a bucket, Sydney get an easy one at the other end. Vasiljevic whistled for the foul. Amy replay on its way. Big man running a lane and gets rewarded.
Yeah, just really in no man's land. He was just in that drop situation, but far enough, too far away from Suarez. Nice pass by Walton. Wasn't in a position to get back and recover.
Hawks don't have a player in double figures tonight. Froling has 9, Seba Frazier with 8. Cooks has 15. Harvey gets himself up to 9 points, and it's back to a 2-point game.
And you got to know he's gonna get himself going in this second half, because he didn't really take a lot of shots in that first half.
That's what he did when they played in round 7. With 12 points in the best part of 4 minutes. Here he goes again. That time, though. Cooks has the back in on Frazier. Walton Jr. baseline. Simon had a fumble. They need to find another avenue. Suarez steps out for 3.
He's kind of like a modern version of Daniel Kickett, Suarez. He's that big guy that's long and he can shoot the 3, and he's not quite knocking it down as regularly as Kicks used to, but he's got Kicks on the sideline as a mentor, one of the assistant coaches. And
36% from outside, you take that.
Yeah.
Suarez.
Like I said, not in the Daniel Kickett category, though.
Walton Jr., all class.
And that's what I need to see from him. First couple of weeks when he got here, we were comparing him to Jalen Adams.
To me, he's
that's the one.
It's the pick of the litter.
Let's get courtside to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, just listen to Jacob Giacomanis. He wasn't too upset, but he just said, I need a little bit more of everything. When you get the ball, if you pass it, look like you're going to get it back. And defensively, just move. Keep them off the glass, get out, get the ball and run.
Score out of the timeout. Thank you, Brad. And come up with a stop. Almost at the other end. Ding Ding ended up in the front row. With the balloons.
Yeah. Well, rebounding is an issue for the Illawarra Hawks there. They're getting beaten in that category.
-9 in the rebound count tonight. It's not their strong suit. They're 8th out of 10 in the competition in that stat against the #1 rebounding team in the competition. Shot clock at 8. Simon forces his way in and draws a foul.
Tyler Harvey just gave him choices. Needed to keep him out of the middle, forcing the sideline. Now see, too far off. He gets a little run up at it, then he's got choices, and he gets to where he doesn't want to go. And when your first action, when you're trying to guard the ball, is with the hands rather than the legs, you're going to be in problems.
Simon on the line. 57% free throw shooter.
It's one of those, when you're in those situations too, and you've got a guy that you're really encouraging to shoot the 3, so you take that, give him that space to try and guard the dribble or encourage him to shoot. The problem is, with guys like Simon, they get a head of steam up. They get on the move. It's harder to influence them as opposed to trying to influence them before they even put the ball on the floor.
Antiang lost the ball. Walton Jr. one-on-one ahead until it got swatted out of the air by Ding Ding.
He's just throwing shots everywhere tonight, isn't he?
He times it perfectly. Here, you can see where he's coming. He's lurking in the background. This little stutter step. 1-2 and gets it early. No goaltend there. In fact, he got a little help. That angle. Looked like Will Hickey. might have hit it first.
Suarez, feet set. Hickey with his 5th rebound.
I'll say he's coming and done quite well on the boards.
Still yet to score tonight. The shot clock rolls into single numbers. Hickey left alone. That's off the front. So we tick down to 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Boy missing. Both teams in action again this weekend on Sunday. Misses.
Ooh. That's Simon. Alley-oop, maybe didn't see him.
Suarez inside. Hickey went with him. All the way up. And then Frazier. Here's Hickey once more, crashing the glass. Look at him hustle after the ball. And after all of that, he gets it back for the Hawks. What about that from Davo Hickey?
And what a sequence down the other end up against the taller Suarez. Will Hickey says no sir. And then down the other end, the loose balls. And when you're trying to play catch up in desperation mode, it's what he got to do. Get down and dirty. Might have had a claim for a foul as well, but wins another possession for his team.
When you're looking for minutes, that's how you need to play.
3.5 to play in the third quarter.
Well, isn't he? He's just a little sort of
To be youthful, Santa, didn't he? Might have even just had a bit of filler, a bit of
New age
fighting
Sanders.
the aging.
These new age Sanders, man.
I honestly thought they would going to have a big name for somebody.
It's good fun what they're doing. You can get your tickets, and of course, if you can't be there, you can watch it all on Christmas night. Great way to spend it with the family. Cooks, have a slice of that.
It's a grown man dunk right there. Grown man.
Let's get courtside to Joe Healy.
Yeah, that Xavier Cooks dunk there, a little bit of respite for the Kings. Chase Buford in that timeout, as you could probably hear from up there, gents, was not happy at all. Will Hickey, he said, is out-competing all of us right now. He looked right at Tim Suarez and he said, how is he beating you to that block at the basket? We've got to be better.
Well, it is, and I think it's just you've got to compliment Will Hickey. Here we see that easy transition one, and rather than just tucking it in nicely, the clock back, the throw down, and the stare at the camera.
He knew exactly where the camera was.
Very nice.
Yep.
Got some sort of authority.
Send a little message to let you know, don't get up there.
Sydney's biggest lead of the game right now. Walton Jr. rolls it into Cooks with 2 on the clock. That's plenty of time.
Just too easy. Now, that was good ball movement, but when he's on that box, you've got to half front, even full front. Don't let him catch it. He's proven that he's elite when he gets it in on that low post position.
He's got 19 points to go with 7 rebounds, Xavier Cooks. He's finished from crawling, gets himself into double figures.
And the thing about Cooks, it's so effortless. 8 of 11 from the field. He's got his 7 boards and just in the right place at the right time.
Mathieu, a little piece of Suarez on the way through. Seaver putting on all the tricks. Mathieu just threw it on the backboard. Froling was there. Gets control back, and Hickey involved as well. Seaver tees off.
Wow.
It's back to 5. They're staying in the hunt, Illawarra. Peyton Seaver has 11.
He's just bringing the energy there. Both ends of the floor.
Throwing, blocks the shot of Suarez. Momentum surge for the home team. Seaver misses out. Mathieu put it back in.
They're starting to compete on the boards, coming up with some second shots, and what a nice putback.
They've scored the last 7, Illawarra. Right time to be doing it. On the way to three-quarter time, Galloway was fouled by Hickey.
And again, Hickey is in everything. Comes in, digs in to provide a bit of help, a lot of energy, a lot of activity with the hands on the defensive end.
Here's the details to enter the Latrobe Financial Legends competition. nbl.com.au/legends. He's plus 10 in his time on the floor, Will Hickey. He hasn't scored. Shows his all-around impact. Vasiljevic, late clock. Cooks, look out!
Okay. He's starting to get good at that. He is starting to get good at that.
Did they clear out quickly as well? Another good business decision from the Hawks. Oh, barely drawing line on that one. It's the third one we've seen him jack up tonight. I'm sure we would have seen that many on the season from Sam Froling. Cooks. Last play of the quarter. Good hands, Seaver. Breaks it down. 3.6 left for the Kings.
Plenty of time to get a good shot off. That would have a rehearsed play of what they do in these types of situations.
The Cooks found Vasiljevic, who got the shot away, but it doesn't stick. 5-point game at three-quarter time. The Sydney Kings leading the way over the Illawarra Hawks on Friday Night Hoops.
So unassumingly, it's been an effortless 21-40.
He's got that sneakiness about him, like Andrew Gaze. You know, we notice every time we catch him on film, he's standing there smiling with his opponent, laughing, and then all of a sudden he's back door for a dunk. Oh, how's your mom doing? How's your dad doing? And bang. Every time we get you.
I reckon this first few minutes for the Illawarra Hawks are going to be critical. You just got a sense that they were hanging on. First team to knock down a few three balls will help as well. They collectively 14 of 55 from the three-point line.
Cooks back to the basket. Swings for Galloway. Shot clock at 5.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't go. He'll be on the free throw line. Let's get courtside to Brad Rosen. Yeah, listen to the Illawarra three-quarter time, and Jacob was very happy. He said, I'm going to play Dobo, Hickey, and Swaka because those guys want to play. If you don't want to play and give me some pop, you can come and sit here. And he was looking at his starters when he said that. He did want to have the first 5 minutes. He said, we've got to go hard, and that's what Julie said. Joe, what did the Kings have?
I could barely hear anything down this end because Chase Buford's just about lost his voice. But he said, guys, defense is letting us down right now. He knows that they're getting some good shots, but he wants them getting to the rim mainly. He knows that that's where at their best.
You can see Chase Buford after that miss. Into the frustration of the inability of the Sydney Kings to consistently knock down the free throws and be reliable at them. He knows that they're going to be important. Oh. And you live with that foul. Again, it's Hickey just going after it. And that time runs in to DJ Vasiljevic on that rebounding contest. But you're going to be happy with that. But not as happy if you pick up the electric, 100% electric, not the dual fuel stuff and the other hybrid type game, but the fully electric MG. The most affordable electric car on the market.
Vasiljevic whack. 11-point lead, game high right now. There's a story behind that MG as well, which we will get to.
No story.
Might explain why he's so happy.
Just driving one. That's why I'm happy.
You've got it for a little longer than that is what I understand. Hickey, he's done everything else. Ball knocked down the three ball, and that'll be a push on Hunter. His third foul.
It is. Little exaggeration by Denker, but you saw the arm extend. So Hunter, and there's a flop warning on the shot from Hickey. The three ball, not there. And that's just a little shove. Gets called for the foul.
Will Hickey sits down. 13 minutes of just pure effort and pure energy. It's just hard. Harvey up to 11 points. Can he repeat the heroics of round 7 and let him fly in the last quarter?
Sydney have to be careful here because it's still a game in this.
Well, it is. You just feel like they're starting to put their dominance on the game.
Hunter throws it down.
Quick too, wasn't it?
It's been a dunks in a long time, Joey.
Harvey short that time. Jordan Hunter silenced the Win Entertainment Centre. Cooks wants a slice of it himself. Harvey with room. Got it.
He continues to do what he does, and that is shoot the ball. He's stepping up again, 6 of 17, so he's a volume shooter. And this one here,
No kidding.
Swift hands from Seaver. Knocks it away from Cooks. Harvey had Frazier wide open. And they reset. Trailing by 8. Rolling scores over the top of Hunter.
Well, I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive, especially on that box.
you see, getting ready to come in, 4 players going to check in for the Sydney Kings. That is not all that common in an NBL game when the game is still very much on the line.
Jumps out from Vasiljevic. The Hawks quickly get to the other end. Seaver inside. Deng took it to the rack and drew contact. Fourth quarters have been a problem for the Sydney Kings. There's no question about that. Joe Healy spoke about it off the top tonight. Chase Buford addressed it after last game. Their last 2 fourth quarters, last Sunday against the Breakers and then against the Jack Jumpers and against New Zealand, they've been outscored 43-15.
Yeah, that is unusual when you've got the competition's leading scoring team. It's not common to see them so bad. To hold the leading scoring team in the competition to 6 points like they did, like the Jack Jumpers did last week, is an extraordinary performance by the Jack Jumpers, but also shows that there are a few things breaking down for the Sydney Kings. What about this competition? I tell you what, we're dishing up cash, cars, and holidays.
Oh, yeah. 4 tickets, flights, spending money, accommodation to a game in the US. You're whopping your way to LA. It's as easy as that.
Love it.
You guys speaking about Sydney not scoring a lot of points in the fourth quarter. But along those times, Sydney had the lead in the third quarter, and then he put his bench in, or rested his starters in that fourth quarter.
The Hawks get the ball here. Well, they gave up a 12-point three-quarter time lead last Sunday, didn't they?
Well, they got it out to 11 here early, just a couple of minutes ago, and it's just been a nice little run here by the Illawarra Hawks.
They scored the last 7. These passes a bit awkward for Deng Deng.
Give me that ball.
Walker Jr. walks into a 3. Strong Mathiang. Those long levers at his drags it in. It's the Hawks searching for their 3rd win of the season. Seaver scores. 2-point game. Chase Buford wants to have a chat about things. He's not happy.
He's steaming over there.
2-point game. It's all on the line. 5:21 remaining. The Hawks have scored the last 9. Twice they've come up short against the Sydney Kings this year. only just in both occasions. And they're being presented with another golden opportunity here.
So they feel like they can play with this team. Regardless of what position they're in on the ladder, they feel like they can play with this team. They match up well with this team.
Suarez had been in there for a while. Great find by Walton on the finish.
It was. They saw the mismatch, and Walton does a good job of recognising it. Have a look here. There's the switch. Seaver does the right thing. He fronts Suarez and then just needed some weak side help because he was always going to be beat. That pass just had to get there. Not a whole lot more Seaver could have done on that switch situation.
He needs help, you're right. They got to get down there straight away. You see that mismatch, you got to get down there and help out.
It's 15 points now.
Especially when it's late clock. It's late clock like that, and with that mismatch, I think someone from the weak side coming in there.
Frazier trying to isolate Glover. Tough look. And Suarez drags in his 7th rebound to go with his 15 points. Shot clock at single figures once more. What a pass. Walton Jr. for Simon.
What a cut by Simon as well. Saw his defender and turned his head and timed his cut beautifully to receive that pass.
And the only team that scored out of the timeout, Sydney. Ding Ding. He's going to get himself some free throws. Nice take.
Good as here. Weaves his way in. Again, they get into a switch. Deng Deng just ball watching and gets caught out. See, Mathiang, had to come and help. Just a beautiful pass. What a find. Xavier Cook's back into the contest.
This is the first. Do you think there'd be some frustrated... I mean, this game's still very much up for grabs. Be some frustrated Kings fans watching on tonight?
Hard to be frustrated with them when they're still in first place, though. I mean, you're probably frustrated with some of the ways they play and how close the games are. But the fact that they're in first place, really, can't say a lot of things.
Yeah, sorry, when I mean frustrated, I mean more that they haven't put them away. Right. Yes, Harvey with a foot on the line. That's good. That will frustrate them even more.
It'll also frustrate the Hawks because he is 4 centimetres from being a 3 rather than a 2.
Tomorrow, Tasmania will host Cairns first up. And then Adelaide will play host to the Brisbane Bullets in the later game. Holt Jr. again throws a ball.
They put 3 up. There it is. Frazier comes from behind. Just with his foot. See that left foot steps forward. He thought he was going to shoot a 3, but just a little bit too far forward.
A lot of coaches don't like that. If the ball goes in, it's still a bonus.
Oh, you're still happy with it, but it's one that just you can concentrate a little harder. You're just a little bit more aware. Wasn't going to change the length of the shot at all.
How cool is this? The 12 games of Christmas games every single day coming up. The centerpiece, of course, being Christmas Day between the Kings and United. Suarez makes the second. Pushes it back out to 5. And the Kings 10 wins, 4 losses on the season. Get through this Christmas period and we'll start to turn for home here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. They've got themselves in a fantastic position, no question about that. Silic couldn't hang on to it. Receiver. The floater goes.
It's got too deep. drops defense. The big needs to just sit up a little higher. Not allow him to get that deep.
They're within 3 now, Illawarra. They trail by as much as 11 early in this fourth. Vasiljevic downhill, that is tough.
He's a scoring machine.
Regardless of how he's shooting the ball, he's not going to shy away from a big moment. He's one of those players that wants the ball in his hands in those big moments, regardless of how he's been shooting it.
17 points on 7 of 13 for DJ Vasiljevic.
Outrageous. Extraordinary. Outrageous.
Listen to the sound. The sound is the sweetest sound in sport.
Tyler Harvey cooking again in the fourth quarter. Walton Jr. down to 5. Blocked by Mathiang. He gives himself the nod of approval.
He does. He's loving his own work. It's a good read. Look at this step back. Bang, bang, tough. And then down the other end, again, they get really deep. Mathiang gives him the stare down and says,
No, sir.
I think he said, yes, sir. I think he said, yes, sir. Get that out of here.
Kings will have to be quick. They've got a lot of clock awareness here. Oh, Simon hustles after it. Chase Buford riding every play. Vasiljevic for 3. Wow. Jumps out.
And a foul by Cooks.
DJ's had 2 shots like that. They go in the rim and pop out.
Wow.
That's it, a victory lap. And then popped out.
Big possession coming up here for the Hawks.
A reminder, the teams played in round 7. It was a Sean Bruce buzzer beater that won the game for Sydney. The Hawks have been in this situation before against the Kings. Into the corner. Deng misses.
To me, that's the wrong guy to be shooting that shot. He was open, but still had time on the clock.
Walton Jr. Late clock. Has to force something up. Suarez couldn't get it to go. There's Simon again. Coming up with a loose ball. And taking valuable seconds off the clock now for Sydney. Inside to Suarez. Free throws on their way.
2 huge offensive rebounds, and this one could prove to be expensive. It's an area that the Illawarra Hawks have been just down on. Good play by Suarez just to make contact with the rim, get another shot clock, and another possession for his team.
Justin Simon coming up.
Then finger around like that Johnny Travolta in the 70s Saturday Night Fever type thing when they really didn't know. They're not in a position to see. Now maybe it's your instant reaction, your emotion of wanting to come up with the possession, but you know, you can't just start waving your finger around and saying,
They all do it, Drew. Every player, every play.
Must make it hard to know for the coach what's worth challenging and what's not. As Suarez makes both, it's a 2-possession game.
I know it's he still had a timeout left, so he doesn't burn it, so it's almost like a free hit.
Harvey, they need this to go. The putback from Mathiang doesn't stick either. Now Sydney are in the driver's seat.
So, I've got a contact on the left arm, but I also have a contact around the shoulder.
Okay.
So, to me, this is not
Two good opportunities.
Okay.
The go begging.
Just slapping at the ball, though. Surely that's not unsportsmanlike.
It's a it the slap on the shoulder that could be the problem, Drew?
It is, but I think the slap on, which foul did he call? If he called the foul before it, I really hope it's not. They're reviewing it, but I really hope it's not unsportsmanlike.
Better not be.
Now, to the letter of the absolute law, but
The question will be, was there a genuine play at the ball? You wonder whether that slap on the shoulder, whether they class that as genuine.
From Bang Bang and contact with his right
there's the foul with the left
on the
arm.
right shoulder.
Like he's just trying to reach.
For potential C1.
But I'm not sure what, if they've called the first one, can you?
Flag foul, 77. 2 shots.
It's been upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul, and these are crucial free throws now for Sydney.
Well,
You want to foul anybody, you want to foul Cooks, though, I guess.
well, that's true. He's the right guy to be fouled based on his free throws throughout the course of the season. And this is
Less than 50%.
I mean, it's always been an issue for him, but it's becoming a really, really significant one at the rate at which he's been shooting his free throws. 48% on the season, and he's missed them both.
Oh, dear.
Now, it's not great technique. He needs to fix the technique. Now, it's not horrifically bad, but it's not great.
You know what else it is?
It's burger time. I tell you what, Jack Cowan, the boss, the founder of Hungry Jack's, geez, he gets nervous when he sees the Sydney Kings place because he knows it's almost certain the burgers, they're better at Hungry Jack's.
Oh, no.
What a play out.
And look who it is again. Sean Bruce.
Put him to sleep, Sean. Put him to
Late in
sleep.
the game. It's sleep time once more.
Oh, what a play.
Look at the overplay. You're trying to get through that. And then the little slip. Harvey just falls to sleep. And that's a beautiful pass by Cooks.
And you foul him?
Now, Seaver, to me, he's guarding the inball. One, you might want to have a bigger guy guarding the inbound pass. And two, protect the basket side.
He makes the extra. Illawarra call the timeout. Just like that, what was a 2-point game?
Move on, but he's a
But you need personalities like that.
genuine character.
Can't question his passion, that's for sure.
Or that bank check, that check that he's writing every.
Cannot question that either. Offensive foul.
Well, Cook's doing MVP type things in these last two plays. Elite pass from the sideline out of bounds. This time knows they're going to Harvey, steps out in front, draws the charge. Well done, Xavier Cooks.
21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He's had a massive, massive night. There's been a lot of discussion in the last couple of weeks about others in the MVP race. This is a reminder that in many eyes of people, he's the #1 seed.
I've been saying it for years. Get this guy. Honestly, I think he's good enough to play some NBA ball. There's a couple of things he has to work on. But he's a Draymond Green to me.
Walton Jr. will take care of things. The Sydney Kings were forced to fight and scrap and earn it. But they're good enough to do it, and they're good enough to go 3-0.